Good day everyone, I am Cadet 3rd Class Moradas Mark Antoniwi.
I'm Cadet Third Class Juanillo Alden Franzel C.
I'm Cadet 3rd Class Gadingan Richmond P. In this video, we are going to articulate how African transformed by science and technologies.
So in metallurgy, many advances in metallurgy and tools making were made across the entirety of ancient Africa. This includes steam engines, metal chisels and saws, copper and iron tools and weapons, nail, glue, carbon steels and bronze weapons, and art. Various past African society created sophisticated built environments. Of course, there are the engineering feats of the Egyptians, the bafflingly raised obelisk and the more than 80 pyramids. The largest of the pyramids covers 13 acres and is made of 2.25 million blocks of stone. Later, in the 12th century and more farther south, there were hundreds of great cities in Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Medicine. So in medicine, many treatments we use today were employed by several ancient peoples throughout Africa. Before the European invasion of Africa, medicine in what is now Egypt, Nigeria, and South Africa, to name just a few pieces, was more advanced than medicine in Europe. Some of these particles were the use of plants with salicylic acid for pain, kaolin for diarrhea, and extracts that were confirmed in the 20th century to kill gram-positive bacteria. Medical procedures performed in ancient Africa before they were performed in Europe include vaccination, autopsy, limb traction, and broken bones settling, bullet removal, brain surgery, skin grafting, filling of dental cavities, installation of false teeth, what is now known as caesarean section, anesthesia, and tissue cauterization.
Africa has been a source of science and scientific discoveries. The continent continues to attract the world, which has led to some breakthroughs in science. Since colonist times, science has been part of the existence of Africa. Despite suffering through the horrific system of slavery, sharecropping, and the Jim Crow era, early African Americans made countless contributions to science and technology. Surely, only a few of us know that many modern high school level concepts in mathematics first were deployed in Africa, as was the first method of counting. More than 35,000 years ago, Egyptians scripted textbooks about math that included divisions and multiplication of fractions and geometric formulas to calculate the area and volume of shapes. Distances and angles were calculated, algebraic equations were solved, and mathematically based predictions were made of the size of floods of the Nile. 8,000 years ago, people in present-day Zaire developed their own numeration systems, as did Yoruba people is what is now in Nigeria. The Yoruba system was based on units of 20 and required an impressive amount of subtraction to identify different numbers. Scholars have lauded this system as it required much abstract reasoning. Several Asian African culture birthed discoveries in astronomy. Many of these are foundations on which we still rely, and some were so advanced that their mode of discovery still cannot be understood. Egyptians started the movement of the sun and constellation and the cycle of the moon. They divided the year into 12 parts and developed a year-long calendar system containing 365 days. Clocks were made with moving water and sundial-like clocks were used. In astronomy, many of their discoveries were so advanced that some modern scholars credit their discoveries instead to space aliens or unknown European travelers, even though the Dogon culture is steeped in ceremonial tradition centered on several space events. The Dogon knew of Saturn's ring, Jupiter's moons, the spiral structure of the Milky Way, and the orbit of the Sirius star system. Hundreds of years ago, they plotted orbits in this system accurate through the year 1990.
Most of us learned that Europeans were the first to sail to the Americas. However, several lines of evidence suggest that ancient Africans sailed to South America and Asia hundreds of years before Europeans. Thousands of miles of waterways across Africa with water across Africa were trade route. Many ancient societies in Africa built a variety of boats, including small red-based vessels, sail and sailboats are gathered structures with many cabins and even cooking facilities. Com- Contemporary scientists have restricted this as accent vessels and their fishing gear and have completed the transatlantic voyage successful around the same time they were sailing to South America. The 13th century, these accent people also sailed to China and back carrying elephants as cargo.
People of African descent come from Asian, rich and elaborate cultures that created a wealth of technologies in many areas. Hopefully, over time, there will be more studies in this area and more people will know of these great achievements. That's all, ma'am. Thanks for watching.